Good evening, everybody, and welcome again to the Clever Chat podcast. I am your host, Amin. Before we start this podcast, I'm going to tell you thank you because the first episode was kind of crazy, and but it's a beautiful process because we keep learning together. And I like that you guys are with me on this journey as we are growing together. And I can definitely be honest, it was not as easy as I thought, When we started the first episode, I was extremely nervous. And I know you guys can see it on the first episode, but it's the beauty of it. And with that being said, I just want you guys to know that I definitely do appreciate you, and we will continue to talk about corporate life and office politics and toxic coworkers and everything around office and workforce in general. And I want to make something clear as well. You don't actually need to work in corporate because we are actually talking about the workforce in its entirety. So regardless if you're working in the warehouse or you're working in the hospitals or you're a nurse or a doctor, regardless of what you're doing, I strongly believe that you are definitely going through some of the things that I am going through as well. I'm just fortunate to be someone that works in corporate, so maybe that is why that I'm talking about my own personal experiences and things that I've learned or things that I might have done different, you know. But yeah, I definitely like the idea of you guys sticking it with me, and I hope that I see someone look at me and be inspired into starting something and seeing the struggle that I'm going through while trying to perfect this craft for you guys, because we can only get better as time goes on. So we're gonna fly into this episode, the second episode of Clever Chats with you guys, and today we are going to talk about toxic co-workers. I know. There is no one that has not yet have some type of a toxic type of co-workers, and they come in different shapes and sizes, and you can find them in every walks of life. Yeah, like I said, regardless of where you work or where you do your businesses, and we all know how bad it can get when you are working with someone that try to sabotage you or try to make you look bad to your bosses or your boss, or someone that is just trying to leave you out of emails and stuff. There are a lot of ways that you can find out that someone might be toxic. But I will just tell you a few things that I've been through. When I started working in corporate, I went there with a very open arm because I'm a very inviting person. I try to see people for what they are. I'm very open minded. So I thought that everyone in corporate is my friend, and but I never knew that office politics actually existed, because I expect that everyone that is there is definitely qualified enough to be there, and we are just there to try to earn something so we can do better things for our families. So I was there. I have no one's time. I make sure that I do my work, and make sure that I come home and make friends and try to socialize as much as I can. You know and try to make friends when I'm there, try to be a good worker, do my work, make sure that I keep up with the deadlines, and make sure I contribute in the meetings as well. And if I have to travel, I make sure that I be nice, even if I'm sharing an hotel room with someone. I think I was doing my best to make sure that I put my best foot forward. But unfortunately, the reality will kick in very, very harshly. But we need to understand also, I think one thing that I never really pause and actually think about is the idea that when you are working with people, you have to understand that people have different temperaments, different characteristics, and we all come from different backgrounds. And as an immigrant, we are taught in living life in communities. We are very welcoming to people. We are very open. And until you prove yourself to be someone bad, you are always welcome. So with that type of mindset is what I went in my office setting and the corporate life with. And maybe if I had worked in somewhere that is really nice, it would have been very good. And I don't think I would have experienced some of the things that I did experience. Don't get me wrong, I experienced wonderful things in corporate, but I'm just letting you guys know what you will expect if you are a young guy or a young girl that has just graduated, or you're about to take your first step into the corporate world or into the workforce in general. I think I'm going to stop using the word corporate because maybe it will sound too fancy or whatever. So if you're about to step into the workforce, and those are things that you definitely need to look out for. Even in the first episode, when we talk about how to navigate the workforce, I hope you go back there and check the first episode. That will give you a guide into how to navigate around the workforce with colleagues and with your managers and stuff. But this time, we will dive more into you are already in the workforce, and now you are working with someone that you deem to be toxic. And trust me, you are going to meet a toxic coworker or someone that you deem to be someone toxic. But like I said, we are going to relax this time. We are not going to make it too professional. I have a few stories that I have already written, and I had to fish out a few stories also from the comment section on my TikTok, where people actually write in their stories about a time when either someone snitched at them at work or even a toxic coworker in general. So I think that is something that we will definitely see in the video as well. And but just understand that life in corporate can be very challenging. And I'm going to give you some few different type of people that can be toxic and different type of coworkers that can be toxic. So the first one that I write, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be interesting. It is something that I will call, because this is something that happened to me. I actually write it as the credit thief. Okay, the credit thief. That is someone that will take credit for the work that you actually put in the work in. Let me say, there is a particular project that needs to be done in the office for whatever thing, and you are the one that handle the project. You are the one that makes sure that everything is being properly negotiated. You are the one that makes sure that you bring in the deal, and someone sees that you've done everything, and when it's time for a credit to be given, then someone took the credit for your job, you know. And interestingly, I posted on my TikTok, and uh, someone gave actually a scenario where someone took credit for their job. So I'm just gonna read this one so you will know, so you have a glimpse of what I mean, you know. So we are going to read this story. This is a story time for a credit thief. So we'll just call this person Sarah, just to make sure we put a name to it, so it will sound more realistic. So Sarah worked in a marketing firm where she poured weeks of effort into a campaign proposal. When it was time to present, our coworker Jake jumped in and took the lead and presented her work as if it were his home. The boss praised Jake, and Sarah was left speechless. After that, she started saving email trails and copying a manager in discussions. Eventually, Jake was exposed when he tried to take credit for another project, only to realize Sarah had already shared it with the team first. So things like this is what I'm talking about. If you have someone, you are going to have someone that is going to try to take credit for the work that you've put in so much effort in, and that is really sad. But as you can see, the truth will always come out. People are crazy, but make sure you always copy your manager. If you're handling a project, make sure you always copy whomever you think is important enough to know what you're doing. Make sure you put them in copy, and make sure you always keep a copy of your mail, just to make sure that you have an entire file where you put everything that you've already worked on, and that is going well. So to make sure that you can always come back to it if questions were asked, because people in corporate are really really there to it's like a game. You need to know how to play it, and you need to understand that not everyone has the best intention. People are there to win. People are there to make sure they look good, because visibility sells in corporate. It's not what you do, is if the boss is recognized that you are doing those things. That is why most of the people that are promoted are not the people that are smarter, but the people that are likable, people that talks a lot, people that are in the boss's faces, and they are given this perception as if they are the ones that are doing a lot of the jobs. So as a person that can be an introvert, that can be very calm and just go there, do my work, and come back home, it is very essential for you to make sure that you copy your email, make sure that you save your files, and put the managers and anyone that you think that they are important enough to know whatever mail that you're sending, so they might see the progress in which you are doing your project in. Another second type of coworker, a toxic coworker that you will definitely come across in any type of workplace that you're doing. Especially, I got this one from someone that I think the person is a nurse or something, and I saw it on the comments, and I think it was very interesting. But I will call this one the gossip queen or the gossip king, so it will not look so gender based. In any work setting, I'm telling you, regardless of what you're doing, you are going to have someone that definitely gossips a lot. So you have to know how to navigate around people like that. And I hope that you already know that you cannot and you should not put your hands on your mouth into gossiping in workplace. You are there to work. Make sure you work. If someone is trying to bring you into gossiping, do your best to avoid it. You can just don't give opinions on anything when it has to do with talking about someone else. That can really, really go bad. People can switch your words and then make people feel like you are the one gossiping in the office, and you don't want to be the person that everyone thinks gossip. But gossiping is real. People will tell people about your stuff. You're there to work, you're not there to make friends. You don't need to be rude to nobody. You can be there. Don't need to be rude. Make sure you're respectful. Do your work. Come home. But don't get into gossiping. Don't indulge yourself into gossiping. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's really low, 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 low energy. I don't think it's necessary, especially if you're working with a lot of women, no point intended. They are going to try to draw you into different conversation. Just relax. Don't give opinion on it. If it's funny, you can laugh, then you move on. If they ask you what you think about it, you can just say something like, everyone has different way how they look at things, and everyone navigates the world differently. I guess maybe that is just what they like, and move. Don't go too deep in it, or else they will end up turning on you, and that is not a good look as well. And trust me, if they are gossiping with you on someone, when you are not there, you are the topic of that discussion, 100%. I don't care where you work, where you don't work. If you are standing and gossiping people and laugh at their backs whenever they are there, you will be next if you are not there. So that is another form of a toxic coworker. Another toxic coworker that is definitely also that you are gonna that you will definitely encounter in your workspace, regardless of what you're doing, is someone that wants to sabotage you. I would just call this the saboteur. A saboteur is someone that will try to make you look bad to your bosses or to your team leader or whatever, and always you do very flimsy things that you think it does not matter, but it actually does matter. They make you look bad to your managers, and in a very subtle way, and but it's really like sabotaging if you are even smart enough to be working there. In Netherlands, they say if you als jezelf bekwaam zijt, and something like forgetting to copying you in emails. Let me say they give you guys a project, and these people forget to copy you or put you in copy in emails. And when it's time for you guys to do a presentation or during the meeting, they are talking about a subject, and you're like, what are they even talking about? I don't think I got that email about this particular thing. You will look bad. You will look unprepared, and your boss or your manager will be looking at you like you are always unprepared, or someone that will. I don't know, just do little things that will make you look very bad. I can still remember someone, I think I had an instance where someone, I'm not going to say a guy or girl, that we were working together, and I posted on my Snap stories. I don't even know I even added someone that we work together on my Snap stories. That is even my fault, number one, because I will never advise that. If you don't have a good relationship with a person or you don't know them that much, I don't advise you to have them in your social media. But regardless, I don't want to drift off from the topic. I already discussed with someone that I have to do. I have a few things to do, so I don't think I will be coming in the office with a friend of mine that I thought is a best friend of mine, and we were there. So I called in sick, and I was there doing my thing, and of course, no one knows. But I forgot that I had a coworker on my Snap, and he saw the story of me doing whatever I think I said I was doing, and that person actually showed my Snap story to our boss at the time, and I almost got into trouble for that. But little things like that, little snitches like that, they can really put you in a very difficult position because now you have to clarify certain things that you're doing, and that is not a good look. But that is something like a saboteur, and someone might delete a file that is definitely not meant to be deleted and stuff. The sabotaging from work is so deep of a topic that I don't think we can even use an entire episode just to talk about saboteurs at work. And this fourth toxic coworker is something that is really crazy. The micromanager who isn't even a manager. We've all had a colleague that just think that they are the boss at work. I don't get it. It's Alex in the Papa get the company. I don't understand. Really. I really don't get it. We've all had for you to see me switch to my native tongue, for you to know that really, really good. So get certain people where they behave like say that then Papa gets the office setting or that then Papa get the company. It is crazy. Why on earth all of us they go for go work, then all of a sudden they make like saying that you're not the boss. It is crazy. There is always that coworker. They are the one that want to put you in check. They are the one that will be checking your time to make sure that you're on time. And you will be sitting down. Maybe you have a day where it's really calm, and they will be all up on your face. Like, is there nothing else to do? What about if we just take a broom and sweep there and there and there? There's always something that they can say. It's crazy. And you guys have the exact same position, you guys are having the exact same salary, and even your job description is exactly the same. But for some reason, they feel so confident in themselves that they just feel like they are the managers or they are some type of a team leader, regardless of if they've ever been bestowed that type of responsibility upon them. It's crazy. It's crazy. Something like that gets me so riled up. Like, we're there to work. You are not my boss. Why are you behaving as if you are the boss here? Like, chill, sit down. That is definitely a toxic trait in a coworker. That is a coworker that I've definitely worked with, and I hate it. It happens especially if we are working with older people. Sometimes just because they are older, they think that they are the bosses. Even if you have a senior position than them, or you guys have the exact same position, they just feel like because they have been working there longer, or whatever reason, that they are your boss or something. They start getting in your personal stuff, and they start trying to command you, and that is just crazy. Don't tolerate that. Make sure you stand your ground. Don't do that. And of course, there's also the coworker that is actually, I will call the bare minimum master. That is a coworker that definitely don't pick up their stuff. Someone that's slack on their job. They are just all the time. They don't. Everyone has a responsibility. You're there to work. When you're there to work, you need to make sure that you do your work, or else you will leave your work over for someone to do it for you. And that is not the essence of working. If you're there and you're there to work, make sure you keep your parts of working and make sure that you are also a valuable employee. And that is something that is definitely something that you are going to see as well. So there are various type of toxic coworkers, and those ones are the ones that I will be giving you for today. And some of the stories that we definitely some of the stories are something that you will definitely see or encounter. I have a few stories that I'm going to read for you of people that have their colleagues snitch on them for some of the most stupid things. Like I said, corporate is crazy. Corporate is really, really crazy. If you're working there, it's like you're in high school all again. And I think that is something that we need to make sure we find a way to navigate around. So I will give you a few things that people actually snitch on other people for. Some things that are very, I will say, very small, but I guess it's just flimsy that people will snitch on their co-workers because of that. I don't know why people do that. I don't know if they are just doing that just to look good to the bosses, or like I said, some people take work life very, very personal, and because of that, they really just like to snitch on people for no reason. Can you believe? I'm gonna give you just few, maybe let me say 10. I'm gonna give you 10 ridiculous reason why co-workers have snitched on each other. It's crazy. So, here is a story. Take this one. We'll call this the loud typist. Can you believe a guy got reported to HR because his typing was too aggressive and made his co-worker feel stressed? How on earth is that even possible? How can someone call HR because someone is typing too aggressively? That is crazy. It's impossible. You can literally talk to the person for, hey, can you do this? Do you really need to type? Is there something with the typewriter? Because it's definitely not a typewriter. There is no way you'll be typing on the computer so aggressively that it might even disturb the people around you. How silent will even be in the office for you to be typing that hard for people to feel like you are typing too aggressive? And this is something that you guys will definitely will have definitely encountered. We'll call this the microwave offender. Someone reheated fish in the office microwave, and instead of just asking them not to, a coworker reported them to management for heating up fish. That is crazy. I'm telling you, when I was a student, I worked in a warehouse as a job student, and I used to carry fufu to work. I'm telling you, I used to carry fufu to work. My girlfriend at the time was preparing for me all this Nigerian food and all these things, and I used to carry them to work. I can't tell you how many people hate the fact that I actually take African food to work, because African food or Indian food or anything that is tropical type of food has very, very strong spice. We use a lot of spices. So when you microwave them, they can be very out there, the smell. It don't necessarily need to be good or bad. But reporting someone because they reheated a fish on a microwave is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. There is no collegiality at all, or no collegiality. I don't know how to say that in English, because there is no way that you think it's that big enough of a deal for you to go tell a manager that they actually, hey, this is the bad part of it. Not only did they report them to the manager, but they reported them for creating a toxic work environment because of reheating a fish. That is ridiculous. Anyway. Okay, another snitch that happened at work also is a guy sneezed too loudly and his coworker reported him to HR. How on earth is that even possible? People are ridiculous at work. How can you report someone to HR because they sneeze? How can you? I have my friend Sammy here. I know Sammy is very loud. If Sammy is working in a setting, there is no way someone needs to report Sammy because he sneezed too loud. That would be crazy. That means Sammy will be in the office every time, because that would just be crazy. People are crazy. Okay, I'll give you, I think we'll do three more, okay? I think I'm running out of time. We'll do three more. Let me see. A casual Friday violation. Someone wore jeans one shade too dark on a casual Friday and got reported for not following dress code. People are ridiculous. How can people go to work just to offend people? How on earth you are going to report someone because they wear jeans on a casual Friday and it's just a shade to whatever? That is crazy. And the last one that I'm going to give you is the wrong lunch choice. A vegan employee reported their coworker for eating a steak in the break room, claiming it was insensitive. How on earth is that even something that needs to be taken seriously? How can you report your coworker to HR because they eat steak in front of you and you're vegan, you can just excuse yourself. Or just you being a vegan doesn't mean people need to succumb to your preferences. You're there, and you're there to work. They're there to work. That's a lunch space. It's a public space. You can ask them nicely, or you can move yourself on the table. You can go out for a cigarette smoke while they're eating if it's too much for you. And I think it's crazy that people are that bad when it comes to being a coworker. But I think that is what we have today on this episode for toxic coworkers, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm telling you guys, this is a Clever Chat podcast, and we will continuously bring you stuff about office politics and warehouse shenanigans. And like I said, thank you guys for keep following me, and we are gonna go through this journey together. Like I said, this is a journey that we will go through together. The first episode was not easy. The second episode is becoming more relaxed. I got you guys. I know you guys have my back, and I have your back too. Make sure you subscribe to Visibility TV on YouTube. Follow the Clever Chat. Also on TikTok, Facebook, anywhere. And make sure you follow Visibility as well. Engage in conversation. In the next episode of the Clever Chat, we are going to talk about immigrants to immigrants. What are some of the certificates or diplomas that you actually invested in, that you actually studied, that you never regretted, that is making your life very comfortable right now, where you earn a lot of money, where you become more creative. So we will help all the people that are immigrants as us to make sure that they follow the right path into what to study and how to become successful and more stable. Like I said, this is the only way we will help each other. So the next topic for the next episode, immigrants to immigrants. What are some of the certifications that you acquire, some of the diplomas, some of the degrees that you acquire that you will always thank God for? You know, I am your host, Amin, and I want to thank you guys for sticking around on this episode. And like I said, this is a Clever Chat. You're always welcome. So I will see you next in the next episode of the Clever Chat. And I'm going to say bye-bye to all of you guys, and see you guys next one on the episode.